Hi everyone, Shoshana here with Gerald Caesar of Choir Boy. How's it going?
It's great.
Thank you so much. We're actually doing a pre-show report here tonight because, you know, the show, we have a couple days left so people can still see it.
Yeah.
What's it been like being part of this really special performance?
It's been challenging in a lot of ways. I've never been in a show quite like this. When I started the show, I didn't realize, no one knew how much we'd be like dancing or singing, how challenging that would be. But it's been a good challenge, finding the groove of such a special story.
Oh, I'm so excited to see this. It's also really interesting because since I haven't seen it yet, there's so much like anticipation, and that's amazing. You were also in a Bronx Tale on Broadway.
Yeah.
What's it been like seeing how that Broadway experience kind of differed from this one?
That experience was so much more of a Cracker Jack musical as opposed to this show that I feel has actually touched, I shouldn't say actually touched people, but had a more socially important impact. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Versus a Bronx Tale had great themes and great messages, but it just catered to a different audience.
And I think that's really important from the reviews that I've read. You know, this is an important subject of seeing this young gentleman ascending and seeing what's going to happen his senior year, I believe, right? Will he get that, like the lead choir boy, right? Just making sure I'm doing my research, right? So is there anything from someone who's thinking, you know what, I have 3 days left to see this show. What would you say is like, this is why you should see this?
I think you should see this show because I don't think there's any other show on Broadway like Choir Boy right now. I think that when I was rehearsing the show, I felt like it was very niche and I was wondering how it would be received. But I guess I could compare that to a Bronx Tale where it was a very New Jersey, Staten Island type audience, Bronx audience, where this show, even though it feels like it caters to specifically maybe person of color or homosexual audience, it really opens up dialogue for a lot of important topics that are happening all around us all the time.
That's amazing. And I know we're super excited. You see 2 tickets here. That's because Ariel, who's behind the camera, they actually went to governor's school together.
Yes, GSA.
And so we are really excited to see just like how exciting the connection. We walked through the theater as we were coming down here, and you can see it's a pretty intimate space, isn't it?
Pretty narrow and deep, depth-wise.
Okay.
but I think, you know, the audience is kind of lit. Some of the audience when we're on stage, so it's kind of interesting to be able to see people so clearly when usually you can't.
That's
you know what I mean?
interesting.
So it feels very involved.
This will be lit in so many ways.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I had to, that was awful. But I'm gonna keep it in there because we're all
should.
having fun here. And so in my last question, Gerald, what is something about you that you want your fans out there to get to know more?
What is something about me? I don't know.
Just threw that out there.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I would hope that, I don't know, I guess just follow my career. I'm going to do Tina in the fall, so maybe come see that.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. I mean, because they can only see you for 3 more days here. Like, we want to keep knowing. And where can they find you on all social media?
You can find me at Gerald_Caesar on Instagram. And I don't use Twitter. I guess I'm a bad millennial.
No.
Yeah, just Instagram, Gerald_Caesar.
Thank you, and thank you for taking the time before your performance to come chat with us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, happily. And as always, you can subscribe at PreSHO or follow me on all social media. I try to do all of it, but I appreciate that you limit it to just Instagram. It's amazing. You gotta.
My screen time has to be down. Do you guys get that? Do you have that?
So much. I need to like lessen. So thank you, and we'll see you at the show.